5 month birthday. So Rocket is now officially over 18 years and 5 months old. Not a joke. Not a joke. Should be, but it's not. So anyway, yeah, the reason, and this is related to the report, of course. The reason there's no pictures is because we took him off the medication that the vet wanted to put him on. And when did we start that? We started it last week, is when we had him on the stuff for a couple of days. Gave him diarrhea. And then I think we stopped, according to Mrs. Gimpy's documents, we stopped on the 18th giving it to him because we decided, or maybe it was earlier this week. I'd have to look at her documentation because he keeps track of that stuff. I don't, because that's her job. And I think because it was last Monday, right? The 13th is when we brought him into the vet, and then we gave him that pain medication he's supposed to be taking. He was on it for about a week, 5 or 6 days, and we said, and he was having diarrhea. And the vet originally said that this medication, it's basically for his arthritis. It says one of the side effects is loose stools, which is aka diarrhea. And she said, but it only lasts a couple of days, typically, and then goes away. Well, after a couple of days, it did not go away. So, in fact, it has not gone away really at all yet because he still had some last night. And we took him off of it, like I said, on, I want to say the 18th or the 19th. And she called the vet, I think on the 21st, and asked him, how long will it take for it to get out this stuff to get him out of his system? And they said about 3 or 4 days. And we're already 3 or 4 days into it. So, or right around there. And so it was like, we were trying to get him over back onto his previous medication and stuff. We're giving him probiotics, which is normal stuff for him, but we've doubled it up because usually when he has loose stools in the past, Mickey as well, they take double dose of probiotics, one in the morning, one in the evening, and it usually helps out within a day or two. But she also added some fiber supplements that she's used in the past too, and it's not working. So, so I think I don't know what the plan is at the moment, because again, it's been at least 4 days since he's been off the stuff, and we started putting him back onto his was it white willow bark, which is kind of like aspirin for dogs type deal. And again, that's just to help with the arthritis type pain management type of stuff. This is very low yield stuff. It's not high. It's not very strong, but you can tell when it is working on him because he just looks better and he moves better and type stuff. Maybe not as good as movement as the stuff that's giving him diarrhea is, but there's a reason why, because pharmaceuticals, are stronger than normal, say, what is it? Homeopathic, I guess is the right word. And but the upside is for the white willow bark, it's not, the side effects are very, very minor, not even really noticeable. And while this other stuff that he's on is very noticeable what the side effects are, and they're not going away, which is somewhat concerning to me. And yeah, he needs more pets. Oh, he's been getting lots of pets. Right now he's sleeping behind Mrs. Gimpy's chair in her office and stuff. So, but no, he's getting all his attention and stuff. It's just that the diarrhea is just a real thing. I thought we were going to make it through last night, but we didn't. So, because he was doing pretty well last night. I thought we were, had gotten over the hump, and but about I think it was about 3 o'clock or so, he was really anxious and walking around a lot and whining and doing his little howling stuff, which is usually an indication that he needs something. It comes down to, does he need basically a drink? Does he need to pee? Does he need to poo? And he got his water. He went outside, did his pee on the ground type stuff, and then he came back in, and he was still doing his howling and moving around, which usually indicates step 3. But he didn't. He went to sleep. and that was like at 3:30 in the morning. He finally just laid down and went to sleep. And I went, okay. And what was it? I just went, okay, we're good. We're gonna make it, I think. And then what happened? I think he was back up again about 5 or so, but he was just walking around. He wasn't doing anything. He was just walking around. So I said, okay, that's no big deal. And so I go back to bed, and Mrs. Kimpy goes back to bed, and then I don't wake up again until 8:30 in the morning because I'd been up, for half the night already. So I didn't get nearly enough sleep at the first part of the evening, but I did. And like I said, I slept from like 5:30 to 8:30, so I got 3 hours in that way. But when I get up, I'm looking around, and things don't look quite right because of reasons. And I asked Mrs. Gimpy, and I go, "Where's Rocket?" And oh no, sorry. When I got up, he was in the bathroom. He was in the bathroom. He was sleeping in there. And so I'm looking at him. He goes, it looks like he might have gotten a little bit of a bath since I last seen him. So I go find Mrs. Gimpy, and I go, so what happened? And she goes, oh, he had some more diarrhea about 7 o'clock or so. And I went, oh shit. She goes, yeah, right, exactly. And so we didn't make it through. Well, sort of, I guess. Technically we did, but not really. So again, he had some diarrhea, but she said it wasn't that bad. It was just, but it was diarrhea, and she goes, we need to do something. I go, but what? And that's the question: is what are we going to do? So we'll see. Hey, Tiger, welcome back. And so our current plan is to just stick with it, and because we haven't been giving him all the um, was it the probiotics and the fiber stuff, only for like a day or two, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer to kick in, depending on how bad things are going, and the thing is, his diarrhea looks okay. It's just running. I mean, there's no blood in it or anything like that, so that's a good sign. It's just that it's there and it's running, and it's just like, ugh. It's so much fun to clean up because he's got the long hair on his legs and his around the tail area and stuff. He's just got long hair there, and it just hasn't been trimmed in a while either because he is I would say persona non grata at our um, groomer because he can't be left there because of his separation anxiety. He freaks out too much, and he doesn't like being touched as much. And they said you can't bring him back here anymore. We love him and stuff, and he's a great dog, but he just can't. He doesn't want to be touched. He doesn't want to be groomed, and when you're not here, he freaks out. So unless you want to sit here and help us squash him, which kind of defeats the whole purpose, you know, uh, we just can't treat him. We can't groom him anymore. Hey Rose, welcome back. So the only reason we can take him over there now for the base part, or for the most part, is to have his paws trimmed and his toenails cut, and that's pretty much it. Because everything else he doesn't tolerate, which is, like I said, is problematic. And yeah, but Mrs. Gimpy's getting really good at giving him baths in the sink and in the bathtub now too. Again, but the problem is he doesn't like getting washed in the bathtub. He doesn't mind the kitchen sink. In all honesty, it's kind of funny. It's a smaller space in the kitchen sink, but he seems to like it because it's open and airy. Unlike the shower, which is all confined and stuff. He does not like the shower at all. But this again, the sink, he doesn't give a shit. He just sits down. We have this little rubber mat that we throw down into the sink so he doesn't slip around, and he just sits down on there. He just sits there. He takes it, no big deal. But put in a tub, he hates the tub. He hates the tub with a passion. And I keep and Miss Skimpy, but why? There's more space in the tub. I go, it to you it seems like more space, but if you actually stand in there and sit down on the bottom of the tub and feel how oppressive that feels because it's all closed in and stuff, and it's like it's not the same as sitting in the sink, especially for a little dog. When he's sitting in this kitchen sink, he's got lots of space. There's a window right there. Nice, a lot. There's a lot of light in there, and it's more natural feeling, right? And when you take him to the tub, it's not the same because it's all it's not fluorescent. It's artificial lighting, and it's all closed in, and there's a lot of echoing going on because it's a tub. So very different situation, especially when you can't hear or see. And I think is it I think that just the surface of the sink with that rubber mat on it just feels better than the surface of the tub with a rubber mat on it. And I don't know what it is, but he seems to be able to discern the difference between the two. And again, he likes the sink better than the tub. So difficulty, right? It's a thing. It's a thing. But other than that, he's been doing okay. I mean, when he's awake and he's feeling good, he's walking around and doing his thing. He likes to do laps around on the porch and does laps in the living room. And yeah, and when he's sleeping, he sleeps really well. He's not spoiled though. Totally not spoiled. Totally not spoiled. He still doesn't walk a whole lot. Well, it's not that he doesn't walk a lot. He actually does walk quite a bit. Like I said, he does his laps and stuff around in different parts of the house. Like he'll do a lap around the living room and around the coffee table type stuff. We got a big, round coffee table he does laps around. And when he gets bored at that, he'll move into the kitchen and he'll do laps in the kitchen. And when he gets bored with that, he'll work his way out to the kitchen, do some more laps out there, and then he'll do his little search around the house for whatever he's looking for, and he'll end up in the different rooms and stuff like that. And he doesn't do this. He doesn't do laps like in here or Mrs. Gimpy's office and that kind of stuff. He'll just come in and see who's here and decide whether he wants to stay or not. And sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So how can he be spoiled? I know. How can he be spoiled? Oh, look, he's a little burrito. Where's that one from? That's the porch? Oh, yeah, it's the porch stuff. I forgot all those pictures. I forgot what order they were in. They're in the right order. That's the sunrise on the porch. So bright. They're sleeping on the porch. Tongue is out. And Mrs. Gimpy she laughs at me every time we're trying to figure out when he's asleep or not, right? And it's usually after he's been really active and like in the middle of the night and stuff. It's like, eventually he gets tired and he just lays down and, he'll go to sleep. And usually Mrs. Gimpy ends up on the side of his body where she can't see his face. She can only see his back, the back of his head and his body and stuff. She can't see his nose or whatever, or his eyes. And she goes, and I'll be on the other side. And she goes, is he asleep? And I look and I go, his eyes are closed. She goes, but is he asleep? and then I have to get up and I have to look and I look for the tongue to see if it's sticking out or not. If the tongue's not sticking out, we go, no, he's not officially asleep yet. And then once the tongue starts coming out, it's like, wait, now he's asleep. And then we also learned we've learned to watch his breathing too, because he likes to fake being asleep, which is hilarious. He's learned to do this, and he knows that if he closes his eyes and he sticks out his tongue, that we'll think that he's asleep, and he'll screw with us. He likes to do this. We'll be sitting there, we'll be talking, and all of a sudden he'll just pop up and he'll start walking around again. It's like, you little jerk, go to sleep. So we've learned to watch his breathing, because when he first lays down, he's usually breathing fairly. Hard is not really the right word. Heavily stuff. It's like post-exercise breathing. So it's a little bit heavier than you would be when you're sleeping. And I've learned, I watch him and he's got the bigger chest heaves when he's breathing, when he first lays down. And like I said, he closes his eyes, the tongue comes out. So he's going through the process, and then his breathing, eventually goes more and more shallow. And eventually, okay, now he's sleeping for real. And then we can get up and move around. So, because if we start getting up and moving around while he's still, not really asleep, he's faking it. His head will pop up and he goes, okay, where's my treats type stuff. So the tongue must always be sticking out. In most cases, when he's laying down, it's a pretty good indication that he's sleeping or getting ready to fall asleep. But the tongue actually hangs out quite a bit when he's walking around too, for whatever reason. I'm not talking about panting either. He's always had this thing where he'll be walking around, his tongue will be sticking out a little bit. It's just what he does. So, Hobo's here. Getting those bad rolls out of his system now. So, anyway. So, Rocket. I think Mrs. Gimpy's been trying to take him out on walks at least once or twice a week now. It's funny how when he was younger, it was once or twice a day, and now we're because he's older, it's down to once or twice a week. So, of course, she is still technically recovering from her surgery, still too. Officially, she's officially not been released by her doctor yet, who she doesn't see for another couple of weeks. So, hey, Scooby, welcome back. You qualify? Qualify for what? It's only a 3. The only way you technically qualify on a Friday is if you roll a 1. And what you qualify for is I don't know. So, Mrs. Gimpy's leg in the little red covering there. That's one of her towels, or not her towels, blankets that she likes. Look, there's her walker that we put in storage. There he is. Anyway, we should probably get going or just get started. Don't want to ruin everybody's day by talking about Rocket all day. Oh shit, I didn't get this game started. Oops, I knew I forgot something.